Race fans, are you ready? It is time. Moxie Media Promotions coming to you live on Spreaker Radio from the Amco Total Car Care Studio. It is West Coast Wide Open coming at you right now. You may be looking at history tonight. The super late models here at Willamette Speedway. 35 laps down, 5 to go. Here he comes at turn number 4. McLean McGoy picks up the win. Here tonight at Willamette Speedway, a 40-lap main event feature win. He is 12 years old and he just showed the big boys how to get the job done.
It's the first round, and it's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin it till the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing from the first round. It's a fighting if you're in it. It's gonna get ugly just as soon as we begin it till the last round. Left to right, I'm heavy-handed. After everything's landed, I'll be the last one standing.
Having a big event on November 10th. I know nobody can hear us.
Okay, so now we got a little more going out. Sandy should be able to hear us over there. She's doing a little test run.
All right, we'll see if she gives us the go-ahead, the thumbs up, thumbs down.
You know, when you do these live remotes, things get difficult. We got a lot of wires that are, temporary setup. We're trying to plug in and out.
And then you look right behind us, and it's loaded with wires over there, so signals can be lost. And
give you a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Sounds like me.
thumbs
so
up.
we got
All right.
a look at
It's
this.
a Ferrari.
We got a Ferrari pulling in here. I mean, this is crazy. This is, I mean,
It's
everything.
a tour car.
Like you said, everything from the 30s up to this new Ferrari and
Let's go Cannonball Run right now, baby.
but
Dude,
here's the
that
thing.
is total Cannonball Run.
We can't talk over each other, guys. One at a time, okay? Hey, these cars are cool, but Brian, they're not dirt track race cars, buddy.
No, they're not.
They're not dirt track race cars,
No,
right?
No.
Mike, you're getting all googly-eyed at this Ferrari here in front of us.
Yeah, I was always a fan of the Cannonball Run movies, so when you see something like that come by, the first thing you think is, That would be fun to go run, statewide from here to New York and back and try to outrun
man.
cops with.
No doubt about that.
Oh, Corey, look to your 9 o'clock, brother.
They don't get any more stock. Look at this thing. Except the wheels. That's a beautiful Al Capone gangster car.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. We come down here. We got off the plane. I'm not kidding you guys. About 2 hours ago, we hopped in the rental Suburban and we flew down here. I mean, Dom drove, and I don't think there was one time we weren't doing 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. That was like bare minimum. We were flying to get here, and we got here. And like I said, for the people that are just joining in, the amount of cars in this park, I didn't know this was going to be this big. When you guys said, hey, we're going to Chuy's, we're going to do a live remote from Chuy's, and we're going to talk about the Bud Nationals, I didn't think we were going to have well over 100 cars here. This is incredible.
Yeah, it's a great beginning for us. I mean, this is something that Bakersfield Speedway is looking to do on a regular basis next year, where we're going to come out on a Thursday night, do live here, bring a couple cars out every night. We've got a mini dwarf right behind you.
Very cool. Yeah, I wish we had some more of the cars from the track to promote the show. I know Brian and Mike, you guys tried really hard to get some of the guys out here. Unfortunately, this is the Bud Nationals, and guys are putting their stuff together. They're putting their A game together, and they're not really wanting to show their hand this early. I mean, you know how it is, Brian.
Oh, yeah. Right now there's a lot of stuff going on in the shop that needs to be done tonight for tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Tonight's Thursday night nut bolt check for everybody who's bringing the cars out Friday. So they're all making sure every weld looks good, every nut's on there. The decals are clean and pristine and ready to rock. So it's going to be awesome to see those cars. I mean, I hit up Zach Forrester and all 12 of his mod lights that he's got over there. Every single one of them is in some sort of repair right now to make sure that they are pristine for tomorrow.
And those cars would fit in here at this deal. They'd fit in given the era that those cars, they kind of got that old school kind of modified look that, it kind of along with the, what do we call them down here? I know around the country they call them legends. The old school
dwarf cars?
Dwarf cars, that's what we call them in the Northwest. But it would be cool to see, but like we said, we try to get all the Northwest guys here. They're traveling 14, 16 hours towing up here, so it's kind of hard to get here, unload all your stuff.
Isn't there a couple of them here tonight? There's one over at the hotel.
There's there's going to be about 8 cars from Oregon.
Frisbee's here.
Yeah.
You guys, this is cool. I love doing these big shows out down here with you. The only thing we're missing, truly, and I know this means a lot to you guys, it does me, is Mike Mosier. I mean, to do that here with him would have been the coolest thing ever,
Physically missing him, yes. Spiritually, we know he's looking over us, making sure that everything we do is prim and proper, man.
No doubt. And you guys saw my post on Facebook this week talking about Mike and talking about Bailey, and this kind of right here sets the tone. What we're doing here is going to set the tone for the whole weekend. Last year, the Bud Nationals just weren't
the same.
They weren't the same.
No, they wasn't.
You're right. I mean, without Bailey around, I know when Moxie comes down here and we get together as a group, she took care of us she was only 19 years old.
Right.
But she took care of us like mama hen. I mean, we
yeah.
didn't go. We weren't thirsty. We weren't hungry. I mean, there wasn't anything we needed when Bailey was here. And I'll tell you, last year that was something that was missed a lot.
And with that being said, like you said, Corey, Scott was allowing her to do more, and then he was putting her in a position to where she was going to be the director.
Right.
And then she was really starting to blossom. And something happened. So.
Well, I know her and Mike are together looking down over Budweiser Nationals and the Bakersfield Speedway, watching everything. And I can tell you right now, I know they're proud of you guys. You guys are doing one heck of a job down here at this track, promoting the place, promoting the drivers and the sponsors and the community and the track itself. I can guarantee you those guys are smiling. They're proud of you guys. I know I am. And, it was an honor to work up there in the Mike Mosier Tower with Mike. I got to call a couple Bud Nationals with him. And, Brian, you knew him a lot longer than I did. He been a big part of Bakersfield Speedway for 23 years. He was the announcer.
Yes.
You can't replace somebody like Mike.
No.
That is an irreplaceable, invaluable asset to the track.
And see, with that being said, we grew up watching Mike. I mean, I was going out there 15, 20 years.
Right.
And I watched him, so. I mean,
and listen to him and pay attention. You know what? I do too.
It's cool because, and when Scott come to me and offered me this position, it's 1 in a million, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's no doubt. I mean, I know for me, we do a lot of shows throughout the race season, and Mike, you and I have had this talk because you weren't a part of Bud Nationals and Bakersfield Speedway constantly like Brian was.
Right.
But you and I got to, along with Brian, got to say that Mike Mosier was our friend. I had been announcing for quite some time before even getting connected with Mike and coming down here to do the Bud Nationals. And I'll tell you, he was a guy, you just listen and you learn a lot. He was a guy that really didn't tell you how to do it. He just showed you. And if you paid attention, you learned a lot. And, man, I'm telling you, honored to sit in that tower and call this show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honored, period, just to be able to come out here. I mean, I was working on the coast at Santa Maria Raceway for years. And when Mike got a hold of me and said, hey, come on out, take a look at our Bud National, see what we do, I was like, okay, let's see what's
And that's where you and I got connected.
And then, you and I got connected. And
the same year, Brian and I got connected. Yeah. And we just kind of all put this whole thing together over the last couple of years.
I kind of think we got connected when you came down to announce maybe your first or second time, and then that's when we got to know Tony Breakall.
Yep.
Rick Wyatt. It just turned into an awesome, great group of people.
It really did.
We
had
family now.
Yes. We had a lot of fun that year, and again, the race doctor was there.
Yes, he
was. And the element he brought to the atmosphere, not just as an announcer, but as a human being.
Right.
Mike was a true gentleman, full of character and values and morals, and just a guy that I think anybody can easily say, hey, look, I look up to that guy.
Oh yeah.
That's a mentor. I mean.
Yeah, the race doctor. I mean, he didn't get the name because he
the
was
race
the doctor
doctor
of racing. No,
right.
He was a doctor because
he
knew what everybody needed for that medicine that they did. We needed to get together because he knew the future of racing, of announcing, was going to come through Bakersfield Speedway one way or another, and he saw it. And that's why he got us together, brought me out, brought you down, brought Brian up to start talking with him, and one thing led to another. They got a hold of me, said, hey, come out here full time, even though you live on the coast 2.5 hours away. But I was like, Brian, it's a one in a million chance to come out to something like this.
Right.
And I couldn't say no.
But I think something that Mike saw in you guys and understood with me was we've all got a long time, a history in motorsports. Brian, you've been around race cars a long time. You've worked on the race cars. You understand how they work, how to put them together, how to make the adjustments. Mike, you've got the same background. I know you've built some pretty wicked
Family
cars.
affair, man.
Right. And I think that, that's one thing that we have in common as announcers, which you don't find in a lot of announcers. You don't find that background where, they've actually been on the cars, hands-on, making adjustments as a crew chief type deal, talking about, okay, what do you want to do to the car? And the driver tells you, and you're able to make those calls and say, hey, hold on, this is what I saw. What'd you feel? And then you kind of go from there and determine what the changes are. Mike understood all that, okay? And I think he knows that we understood that, and then our background was, pretty deep in the sport. But honored again to be in the tower, honored to be down here with you guys at the Budweiser Nationals at Bakersfield with the Schweitzer family. This is one of I get pumped. I don't know if you can hear it, but I really get pumped about this show.
Everybody gets pumped about this race. I tell you, it's one of the best races and the biggest races that comes to Bakersfield Speedway.
Right.
I'm getting pumped even more this year because, one, Brian came aboard officially with Moxie this year. I got to come out to the track full-time this year. So now everybody gets to feel, they got a taste of what Moxie was all season with us.
Right.
Now you throw the giant firecracker into the middle of it. He's standing right here in the middle of me and Brian anyways. And you're going to get the full effect of what Moxie does behind the microphone.
Well, and last year, we Dom Conti on the mic with us here.
Oh, yeah, Dom was out there, too. I thought he was going to bring a car out and race this year.
I thought we were on the way here. I thought he was qualifying because Dom was our pilot tonight. And, man, he was moving and scooting down 99. Dom, your first experience last year at the Budweiser Nationals. Let's talk about, from your perspective, what you saw.
It was like nothing I'd ever saw. I mean, the way it was organized, the excitement, the crowds, everything. And that's why I'm here this year. You could not be to a better race.
It's amazing to stand there in the tower and look both ways, and there's not a seat left. And you've got races lined up, and as soon as that last car goes by, that break in the fence, and the next race is rolling on, the show it's incredible.